Hello everyone. School starts in Crowley ISD on Tuesday, September 8th with virtual learning for all students. In this video, we'll talk about a day in the life of an elementary student who's learning virtually. Mr. Keith, our Executive Director of Curriculum and Instruction, is here to take us through that day. Let us call our elementary student Larry. So the question is, what does a day in the life of Larry look like? Mr. Keith.
Thank you, Dr. McFarland. So one thing that we're very excited about at the elementary level is our ability to offer families in kindergarten through 5th grade the opportunity to choose if they do live instruction for their students in the morning or if they do that in the afternoon.
Okay.
So we put together a brief walkthrough video that shows what a day in Larry's life looks like. We can take a look at that right now. We'll start with an overview of the principles behind an elementary schedule. First, it's a mix of live and independent learning. Parents have a choice of AM or PM blocks of live instruction in grades kindergarten through 5th. There are regular intervention and office hours for students who need additional support. There's daily social and emotional learning support with the teacher and other classmates. There's flexibility for students receiving special education, 504 dyslexia and gifted and talented support, and there's also blocks of offline time for students throughout the day. So when you look here at the schedule, you'll see that the green blocks are live instruction, the blue blocks are independent work, which remember can be completed anytime during the day, and the yellow are offline times. It can be a little bit overwhelming to look at this as an entire week, so let's just go with a Monday schedule for Larry. So here at the beginning of the day, Larry starts with live reading instruction, and this may include a teacher reading with and to students, teaching reading strategies, working with students in small groups, modeling writing, and teachers providing feedback on student writing. This is that face-to-face, live, synchronous instruction via Zoom where Larry interacts with his teacher in reading. Next, Larry moves to his live math block. Here you may see teachers practicing number sense and mental math with students, teaching students how to solve word problems, using at-home examples to illustrate math concepts, and students explaining their work to the teacher as well as to other students. Now you'll notice there's a break in the schedule here, but teachers will also take breaks throughout these longer reading and math blocks. We wouldn't expect an elementary student to sit for an hour in front of a screen. After the break, Larry moves on to his live science block. So 2 days a week, Monday and Wednesday in grades K through 4, there'll be science during this time, and the other 2 days there will be social studies. So on a science day, you may see a teacher demonstrating science concepts live with students, working with them to analyze the results of experiments, asking students to find at-home examples to demonstrate science concepts, and you may also see students recording their observation in their science notebooks. Next, Larry moves into an intervention block, where you'd see the teacher working in small groups with students who need additional support. We'd also be working on learning gaps caused by the spring 2020 closure. You'd see students practicing essential concepts that they need to be successful in this grade as well as in grades in the future. And this is a block that wouldn't be required every day for every student. It's on an as-needed basis. Then Larry moves into his last live block of the day, which is this 15-minute social emotional support block, which happens daily. And this has students from the AM live block and also from the PM live block at the same time. So during this time, teachers are using the Character Strong curriculum, which focuses on social emotional competencies and character development. And when we say social emotional or SEL, we're talking about things like self-awareness, self-management, and social awareness, all of which are important for students as life skills, but are even more important in a virtual setting. And then also when we talk about character skills, we're talking about things like patience, kindness, honesty, respect, selflessness, and so on, as you can see there on the list. After the social and emotional support session, then Larry moves into a 30-minute offline lunch. You'll see the next part of the schedule is in blue. This is the independent portion of the schedule. So an important thing to remember is that independent work can be completed any time during the day. It doesn't have to happen during this block. So Larry moves into his specials time, which are pre-recorded lessons in physical education, music, art, technology, and our STEM Plus initiative. And these are designed to get students up, moving, and thinking creatively. Larry moves right into his independent reading block, which may include a pre-recorded teacher phonics lesson, independent practice on some district technology tools like iStation, Quill.org, or Learning A to Z. You may see students recording themselves reading using the Seesaw app to submit to their teacher, or you may see independent writing time for students to practice. From here, he moves into his independent math block, which may include pre-recorded teacher lessons reviewing what teachers have taught earlier in the day, independent practice of math skills and problem solving, adaptive online practice using our district math program for K through 8, which is called Dreambox. You may also see students using around-the-house items to demonstrate math concepts, taking pictures of those, and uploading them via the Seesaw app. Then Larry moves into his independent science block, which may include brief educational science videos, independent practice using our STEMscopes platform, and then on days where this is social studies, it may include reading and activities from Studies Weekly, both print and digital. As we talk about this independent block in the afternoon, it's also important to know that this is the time where we'll be providing additional support for students receiving special education, 504, dyslexia, and gifted and talented services. Those schedules will be customized to the individual student based on their IEP. After the independent block, then we move into an offline recess time where we want Larry to get up, run around, and just take some time away from the device. And then at the end of the day, there is an optional office hours block. So during this time, teachers are available via Zoom. It's optional for students and parents to receive additional support if needed, and it is available throughout the week. So that's a look at a Monday for Larry, and you can see that Monday through Thursday all look pretty similar, and then Friday's just a bit different, which we'll look at in a moment. But let's take a moment and compare a morning live and an afternoon live schedule. And so again, it can be a little bit overwhelming to see them in a full week. So let's just compare 2 Mondays and see how a morning live block and an afternoon live block are different. On the left, you see Larry's schedule that we just went through. So you see all the green in the morning where he has his live instruction with the teacher first thing during the day. On the right, you would see a student who chose an afternoon live block. And so in this setting, the student has their independent work first. You can see those blue blocks at the top. And then they have their live instruction with their teacher in the afternoon. One thing these students share in common is that they have the same social and emotional support time so that students are able to see all the other students in their class at the same time. I mentioned a few moments ago that Fridays do look a bit different for an elementary student. So as we close up Larry's week, let's take a look at his Friday schedule. So you'll notice that on Fridays, Larry actually starts with an independent work block where he completes work given during the week. And teachers are also available via office hours in the morning if Larry has additional questions. And then you'll see 2 green blocks there, which are labeled Enrichment Intervention 1 and 2. And this is where students can participate in optional live enrichment activities at set times during the day. So they may participate in a counselor's corner in Enrichment Block 1 and in additional STEM activities in Enrichment Block 2. Then students have an offline lunch and a block of independent work to finish up the week. So that wraps up Larry's schedule, and all K through 5 students follow something similar with a morning block of live instruction or an afternoon block of live instruction as selected by the parent.
So Mr. Keith, let's talk a little bit more about how Friday looks different than the rest of the week.
So we think Fridays are a very important piece of virtual learning for a few reasons. So one, it will be entirely independent. So students will work on independent work on Fridays, and teachers will also be available in an extended block of office hours in the morning if students need additional support. But then in addition to that independent time, we're also working on offering some live enrichment activities that students can join. They're optional, but they can join those on Fridays. So those may include something like a counselor's corner for social, emotional, or character lessons, or even some additional activities as part of our district's STEM Plus initiative.
Gotcha. Sounds definitely fun and engaging on those Fridays for kids to be able to work independently. So question, I know that with us doing this virtual learning, we'll have to rely a lot on technology. And so talk to us about the kinds of technology, the platforms, and others that our elementary students will be using.
So first, we'll be using Zoom to securely connect our students to our teachers. We know it's important that they have that social interaction during live instruction. But then we'll be leveraging the power of an incredible app called Seesaw.
Okay.
And so for pre-K through 5th graders, Seesaw allows students to take pictures of their work, record videos of themselves talking through their work. They can submit links to things they've created online, and they can turn these all into their teacher virtually. And so not only is Seesaw a student-to-teacher app, they also have a powerful, easy-to-use family app that allows you, as the parent or guardian, to see every piece of work that your student has submitted to the teacher, and you can also leave feedback and comments on your student's work. And then the last piece of that family app that's so important, it gives you a direct line of communication to that teacher through its easy-to-use chat feature.
Awesome. Seesaw sounds like it has a lot of benefits, and so we're looking forward to it. You know, I'm a parent, Mr. Keith, you're a parent, and many of you all are parents or grandparents or even people who are responsible for ensuring our kids are progressing online. And so we're looking forward to the work. We're looking forward to virtual learning. And I just want you to know that Crowley ISD, that we are committed to helping you through this every step of the way. We know this is new for all of us. We'll work together, but we will get through it.
And so be sure to watch our video overview of the Seesaw app for parents and families, and we'll also be offering Parent University courses online and live to teach you how to use the Seesaw app to help your student thrive in virtual learning.
Thank you, Mr. Keith, and thank you, parents, for allowing us to work with your children. We're looking forward to September 8th.